3rd of January, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Hmm.
I mean,
That's 8.
Yeah, you might find people who keep the fast a little bit longer, but that's I think on my my law.
I'll tell you something.
517. 1 second.
Oh, 517. Okay.
Yeah, 517. Yeah, actually, the first Zman is 507. Shkia is 4:52. So that's 8 minutes. That's 15 minutes. I guess. Look, it's the Rabbanan. If there are people that need to eat, if they're 15 minutes is we could be, if necessary, could be Mako, and then 17 is already 25 minutes. At 25 minutes after Shkia. That's
okay.
So that's if necessary, you can rely on that. Some people
Very
stay
good.
lower. Some people continue on a bit longer, but 25 minutes is certainly is okay.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's see. We are in Kuf Lamed Zayin, Kuf Lamed Ches. Yeah, I believe we finished Kuf Lamed Tes. I guess Kuf Lamed Tes. That should be where we're starting today.
Okay.
The Dover told, right? Okay. I guess you can begin if you like. Lou joins us, so you can let Lou, if he wants to read it.
So what did we do Aleph yesterday or?
I think we just Malcolm Shinoglu Arts Makor Bimur. Yes, I believe we did. You're right, correct. Yes, base. Kuflamet is base.
Okay, so bet it says Mishay no Yodea likrot Tarik limchot biyado shelo ya'aleh l'sefer Torah. Okay, so one that doesn't know how to read,
Right.
I guess the Sefer Torah needs
to limchos is like biyado, like he should protest against it. But they shouldn't go up to the Sefer Torah.
Oh, okay. So he has to tell the Gabbai not to call me up. Okay. 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 V'yim tzrichim lazeh she'ino yodea likrot lefi shehu kohen o levi v'yein sham acher lezulato. Okay, and if he needs to do this, but he doesn't know how to read, and he's a Kohen or a Levi, and there's no one else, I guess.
Right.
Mayor, I have a message that my wife should be arriving about 11 o'clock.
Okay, I'll let Starra know. Okay. So if he's a Kohen or a Levi, and there's no other one there, im kashet yikra lo shaliach tzibor mila b'mila. Oh, so the shliach tzibor goes word by word, so the Kohen or Levi can repeat it, I guess.
I guess, yeah. He'll read it, and then the Kohen Levi will read after him.
Okay. Okay, to be able to say it, likrota, and to read it, min hakatav yachol la'alot imlav lo yaleh, and to read it from the, I guess the Torah, or the writing, I guess. So he's able to go up, and if not, he doesn't go up.
Shouldn't go up. Right. Okay, let's see the Mishna Berura here. Sifkat Daled.
Okay, Daled. Okay, Sarik Limchot. Okay, so he's going to, I guess, not go up.
Get a protest.
Protest. Okay. מתוך דברי המחבר מוכח, דאפילו אם יכול לקרות עם השליח ציבור מילה במילה מתוך הכתב, גם כן אין לקרותו.
Yeah, meaning it's indicated from the Mechaber that even if he could read with the help of the Shliach Tzibur reading along with him, then he still should not go up.
Oh, okay. So today that would apply to people that can't say the bracha when they are called up.
Well, I mean, if they can't say the bracha, yeah, that would apply today. If they can't say the bracha, yeah.
Because basically most people don't read.
Yeah, our minhag is, well, we are, depends. The Ashkenazim, Sfardim, the Taimanim, they're different groups have different minhagim as to who they call up and what they're required to do when they go up.
Oh, okay.
There are some that require them to actually read it, like we're learning now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, that's good. Okay, so Ainli Kroto, they don't read. Kevan Yacholi Kro Acher. Since another one is
you can call somebody else. Don't call this person up who can't read properly or at all, because you can call someone else instead. There's no reason why he has to specifically be called up.
Okay. Aval b'divrei hatur l'kaman siman kuf mem aleph v'chein mitshuvat harosh shechuva sham b'veit Yosef mashma diyesh lahakel bazeh b'frat lefi ma shekatav b'seif gimel b'shem maharil b'vadai ein lahachmir bazeh.
So you see the Mishnah was pasking that you shouldn't be machmir about this. Person can't really read, so if it's enough, if he'll read along with the shots, that'll be okay.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay, hey, whoops.
No, yeah, he shouldn't go. If he doesn't know how to read, he really shouldn't be going up.
Okay. Lefisha asur likrot, afilu ot achat shalom min hakatav, v'ayin lekaman b'seif gimel v'haga de min hagenu lahakel b'chol gavna. Okay, so that's what you said, that in our tradition today, we're lenient about this.
Right. That we'll see in Sifkim. But he's telling you here now also what's the source of the chumrah, because it's really usher to read if you can't read from what's written, it's really usher to read without reading what's written. So, but then we're going to see now it's Gimel that the minhag for us, at least Ashkenaz, will see that it's different.
Okay.
Let's see Sif Gimel.
Gimel, okay. So Gimel says, Afilu Rosh HaKnesset O Chazan Lo Yikra Ad Sheyomru Lo Kara. Nahagu Sheshaliach Tzibor B'Sherotze Mevarech V'Korei Boli Netilat Reshut Mishum Dahave Keilu Misha'a Sheminuchu L'Shaliach Tzibor Hirshu Akach. So what, even the head of the Knesset there?
Right, it says I feel Rosh Knesset. I'm not sure. Yes, that might be I think that might be the Rav of the shul, even the Rav of the shul, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the Chazan. They shouldn't go and read from the Sefer Torah until they're actually called up to read, right? And Nogu, the minig is that by a shliach tzibur who wants to make the brachas and read without taking rishus, and meaning without getting called up to the Torah. The minhag is that he could, because Rishum Dahavi Kiyu Ma'asa Sheminu L'Shliach Tzibur Rishus Biyad. Because it's as if when he took the job, he's talking about a Shliach Tzibur. In the time of the Gemara, the Shulchan Aruch, they actually, the Shliach Tzibur was like a paid position almost. In some cases, he actually paid a person to be the Shliach Tzibur. So he was given the responsibility and those privileges automatically with his position, right? So therefore, the minhag is that the Shliach Tzibur, if he wanted to go up and read without taking rishus, he could just go ahead and assume that because that's part of his responsibilities anyway.
Okay.
Let's stop here because we're not going to have a chance to do the Ramah. Let's stop here and do the Mishnah Berura on this particular point first. Then we'll see how far we get with the Ramah. The Mishnah Berura in six cut with Vav.
Okay. So afilu Rosh HaKnesset v'chol shechein Adam the Alma v'ta'am.
That's an ordinary people. Even if the Rav of the shul can't go up with getting called up to the Torah, then anybody else certainly can't go up without taking rishus.
Okay, she'ein ra'oi sheyachaloch Adam kavod la'atzmo.
Yeah, it's not becoming that a person should assume honors for himself.
Oh, wow, okay.
I was in a minyan once with Shabbos, so there was a person there, and he was between the aliyahs. He was saying aliyah, aliyah. He was calling attention to himself that the Gabbai should recognize him and call him up for an aliyah. Kind of a little bit awkward situation. Sort of like he's demanding an aliyah.
I mean, just Stam, or was it like a special event for him? Or,
no, it wasn't a special event. Usually, I mean, the way you're supposed to do it, look, the Gabbai is not a prophet. Just because he's a Gabbai doesn't make it a prophet. Doesn't realize the person has, So if you know that there's some special reason why you should be getting an aliyah, right? So the general accepted practice is sometime before the time of the Kriya, you tell the Gabbai that you have a special occasion, special reason for getting an aliyah, and they'll, if it's possible, they'll work you into the schedule. Usually try and be accommodating. Sometimes it's not really possible, but in general, most of all times they're able to work it out.
No, okay. Okay, so let's see. The odd.
I know exactly. And in some shuls, I know in some shuls, specifically one in the Berura shul in Washington Heights, Adas Yereim, the Gabbai goes. They have special silver cards. So, and it says Kohen, Levi, Shlishi, Revi, Mafter, and he goes around before I think at the very beginning of the maybe even before they even get to Kriyas Torah, he passes these out, so everybody knows that they're going to be called up for Sheni, Shlishi, whatever it'll be. He has these little silver cards, and when he gets when they call him up, so then he gives the card back to the Gabbai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was once in a shul. This was many years ago. I think in Queens, for one of my cousins, maybe Ofruf or something, so yeah, I'm standing there, and the Gabbai comes to me and asked me if I'd like an aliyah. So I said, well, sort of too late because I'm a Kohen. So he said, let me go ask the rabbi about what to do. So he comes back to me and says, well, how would you like maftir? I said, that's fine. Now in this shul, it's not like the Baal Koreh did maftir like in our shul he does. He does the reading of the Haftarah.
Right.
So I go up there and then I start reciting the blessings and then I start reading the Haftarah.
Right.
Okay, so when I finished, I go back to the rabbi, and shake his hand. That's what I usually do, and whoever else was up there. So the rabbi asked me, "How were you able to do the maftir? The haftarah?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, when you're a haftorah teacher, you know these things."
Yeah.
So,
Very good.
yeah.
Baruch Hashem. Yeah.
What wasn't too difficult. Okay, so let's
Good.
continue.
Yeah.
The od, the lo lete insuye shekol echad yakdim atzmo. Okay, and still, let's see.
Oh, so it says here is another reason. Right. First of all, it's not proper that a person should um, ascribe honor to himself and go and assume an aliyah without being called up. Va'od, the lola seila and suni. The suni is to quarrel. There shouldn't be any quarrels. Why? Should call echad yakti matzmo. Each person's they're gonna all be clamoring for the aliyahs. The person would just be left to decide if he's getting aliyah or not on his own. So everyone will just clamor along with everybody else to get the aliyahs.
Where they might argue about who's going first, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. There'll be plenty. If you leave it to happenstance, there'll be plenty of what to argue about.
Right. Okay, we'll go to Zion. Mishum dechave v'chule. Shiur halashon ken who? So what? What's the word?
Shir halashon kainhu, meaning this, because he's explaining the phraseology of the mechaber. Shir halashon kainhu, as it follows. This is where the understanding of the Shulchan Aruch should be.
So he's going to explain now. Okay.
Yeah.
Mishum dehave keilu hirshuhu akach misha'a sheminuhu l'shliach tzibor yotzer. We'll explain more. Okay.
Mishum dehavi ki'ilu yeshu al kach. It's as if. Why could the tzliach tzibur go and assume an aliyah without being called up? Because it's ki'ilu. It's as if yeshu al kach. He's permitted for this. He has permission for this. At the time when he was appointed the shliach tzibur, that came along with it, that he was given permission to assume an aliyah anytime he wanted.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's explained in the Beit Yosef, I guess, more.
Right.
Okay. The kevan de akshav no hagim shehashaliach tzibur hu hakorei bimkom haolim. Oh. So this is where the shliach tzibur reads in place of those who come up.
Right.
So I guess he's the Torah laner.
Right. That's part of what the shliach's job was.
Okay. Imkain kevan shehirshuhu liot shliach tzibor hare hirshuhu likrot batorah.
Since they gave him permission to be the Shliach Tzibur, they also gave him permission to read the Torah.
Oh, okay. Umistama lo kapdei im yivarech gamkein acharei shebelav hachehu hakore.
Right, so not only since he has the reshus, the permission to read from the Sefer Torah, so in general we'll assume that no one's going to be makpid, strict about him making the brachas because he's reading, so the brachas go along with that. Everybody's
Okay,
that.
not going to argue with him. Okay, chet. We didn't do chet. That's in the.
Okay, so let's see how far we will have a chance to read the Ramah. At least we'll see. Might have to save the Mishnah Berurah for tomorrow. Let's see what the Ramah says here.
Okay, so Hagat ubemidinot elu ain't no hagim kain. So in our countries we don't practice this, I guess.
Right.
Okay. Ve'ein hachazan oleh rak kashe hasgan omer lo la'alot.
Right. So in Moses, in our regions, we don't practice this, and the chazan doesn't go up only if the sagan, meaning the gabbai, gives him an actual aliyah.
Aliyah. Okay. Aval ein korin lo bishmo kemo she'ar ha'olim shekorim otan bishman poloni bar poloni.
The difference is that with the Shliach Tzibur, we don't call him up by his name as we do with other people who are called by their names Ploni Bar Ploni, like the son in the name of the father. Right?
Oh, right. Okay.
I guess we'll have to see. What do you do? What do you call him? I guess we'll have to see what the Mishnah is going to explain. What is he supposed to be called? How are you supposed to call up the Shliach Tzibur?
Okay. Umi she'aviv mumar lavodat kochavim korin oto b'shem avi aviv. Oh, so his father's an idolater. They call up his name by the grandfather. Avi aviv.
This is
It's
Umisha Avi Mumer. Yeah, right. This is something special. A person who's his father's a Mumer lo recovering. He's a heretic, right? He's
a heretic.
He's a Mumer lo avodas chachavim. He was baptized. Let's say he went off the derech.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say somebody's father went off the derech. So there's a question: how are you supposed to call him, right? Karan also b'shem avi aviv. You call him by the name of the grandfather. You don't call him by the name of the
father. Yeah.
Father, right?
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Avalo bishmo levad shelo levaisho rabim.
You don't call him just by his first name because that would embarrass him, right? Because you don't call people up just by their first names. So you call them up by the name of the grandfather. So it's not going to be noticeable that you're not calling him up properly, right? People may not realize, people don't know what necessarily the background, and they're not going to realize that there's anything wrong. You call him up the person by the name of his grandfather. Now most people are not going to know the difference. But if you call him simply by his first name, they're going to say, why is he not being called up by the name of the father? So the father's Sigmund Freud went off the derech, so he's going to be embarrassed. So you don't want to do that to him, especially in the congregational setting in public. You don't want to do that to him.
Okay. V'davka shelo ala miyamav b'shem aviv.
And that's specifically if he never went up in the name of his father, meaning sometimes maybe the father goes off. Sometimes maybe the guy is 30 years old and the father goes off. So he's already been called been called up by his father's name for 20 years, since the time of his bar mitzvah. So what are you
Right.
gonna do now? In that case,
Mhm.
what do you do?
Okay. אבל אם הוא גדול והורגל באותה העיר לעלות בשם אביו, והמיר אביו לעבודת כוכבים, קוראים אותו בשם אביו כמו שהורגל.
Right, so
He's
if
older.
the father went off and he was already routinely called up to shame the father's name, and then the father went off,
Mhm.
became a heretic, pagan, then you call him B'Shem Aviv, you do call him in the name of his father's name because he's already used to being called up there.
Oh, okay.
In that case, you don't want to embarrass him for Rabbi by not calling him up, by changing his name that he's called up. That's also going to be a embarrassment.
Right,
for him.
right. Okay, Shehugal. Okay. Right. Shalo Yiva show Berabim, not to embarrass him. Okay. V'chein im ika lemechash le'evat hamumar ve'asufi ushtiki korin oto b'shem avi imo. Huh.
Yeah, okay, so if okay, right? If you're worried about that there's going to be some hatred involved, let's say he's a Sufi or Stuki, you don't know the name of the father, so you call him the name of his father, his mother's father. Meaning your day, you don't know, call him B'Shem Abraham. Come on, gear. Okay,
Oh,
we'll have to stop here as we've gone a little bit over time anyway. So okay, we'll go and we're gonna review this tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem.
okay. Very
Okay.
interesting.
Very
Okay.
good.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Mayor. Very good reading.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back, Mayor.